Hi there. If you're watching this video, then I'm assuming that you're either suffering from depression or you know somebody that is suffering from depression. What I want to actually share with you today is how, after 25 years, I feel that I've actually cured my depression. So please watch this video to the end. I really do think it'll be worth your while. My name is Matt. I'm 48 years old and I've suffered from mental health issues, stress, depression, anxiety for the last 25 years. But in this video, I just want to talk about depression. I want to briefly share with you my personal experiences of depression as well. During this period, I've had good days, I've had bad days, but most of the time it was just an average day. A good day for me was an okay day. A bad day could be anything from feeling really down to crying all day long, feeling unable to cope, and suicidal thoughts. An average day for me was okay, but a bit feeling off sometimes, but managing. But I still had bad thoughts. I didn't want to die. I just didn't want to live anymore. I didn't want to live feeling the way I did anymore. Depression can be extremely difficult to live with. It can take hold of you, and sometimes it feels like it's never going to let you go. Unless you've experienced it personally, it's very difficult to understand just how debilitating depression can be. It's certainly no fun living with depression. According to the World Health Organization, 350 million people worldwide are suffering from depression. So if you are suffering, just remember that you're not on your own. The thing is, this 350 million people, that figure, it just keeps going up and up and up. Before I made this video, I searched for depression on YouTube and watched a lot of videos. Not all, but a lot of videos showed people saying that it's simple to, all you need to do is to make a decision not to be depressed. You need to think positive. You need to get out more. You need to exercise more, eat better. Now, there's a huge difference between feeling low or sad and suffering from depression. If you're feeling low or sad, then yes, getting out, having a change of scenery might make you feel better. But depression is different. For me, depression was always there. Even on a good day, I knew it was there somewhere in the back of my head. The best way to describe it would be like a big black cloud following me around in the background. Sometimes it would stay there, out of sight sort of thing, and other times it would just be directly above me and raining down on me. I could wake up in the morning feeling fine. I could go for a walk, take the dog out, and bang, all of a sudden I'd just feel crap. It's just like switching on and off a light switch, that instant, that quick. And that would be it then. I could be on the floor for a couple of hours, a couple of days, or even longer. For me, depression didn't make sense. It didn't build up gradually. It didn't just come on when I was having life problems, like we all do. I could have had what I class as a good day, and then bang, just out of nowhere, it hit me. And just took over my head. Regarding exercise, I have most of my life exercised. I've always had an interest in health and fitness, so it's always been part of my life. Sometimes life did get in the way, and there were periods where I didn't train. But for the last probably 9 years, I've been very consistent with my training. And I do weight training and cardio 4 to 5 times a week. Now, we know that exercise makes us feel better, It's the release of good hormones called endorphins. For me, when I was at my lowest, exercise did actually help, but only certain types. My weight training, my circuit training, going on a stationary bike, it didn't actually make me feel any better. But if I went for a good run, 5 or 6 miles, I did. I actually felt better. I got that nice feeling, but it would only last for a short period of time, probably an hour or so at the most. Regarding diet, my diet has got better over the years. I have a qualification in nutritional therapy, so I know that my diet is pretty good. But going back to a lot of the advice on here, if you are struggling with simple basic functions like getting out of bed and actually living life, the last thing you want to do is hear people say exercise, eat better, think positive. My depression, I think, started when I was about 23. I had a job as a prison officer, which was very stressful. At that time, most of the staff that I worked with were either drinking heavily or using drugs. And yes, I am talking about the staff and not the inmates. I was teetotal at the time and I was struggling, as were other staff. And around about the same time, I ended up marrying, let's be polite. I married somebody that was extremely difficult to live with. As a married man, my first telling off was after my speech at the wedding, and she told me off for not saying thank you to her for marrying me. The marriage went downhill very quickly after that, and I was married and divorced in 6 months and ended up being medically retired from the prison service. After that, my life just seemed to get harder and harder, and I struggled a lot. I was on high doses of antidepressants for quite a while, just so that I could cope. I didn't like them. I had side effects and they stopped me from sleeping. So I was given sleeping tablets as well. And for probably 3 years, I was a complete mess. My doctor and my parents actually wanted to section me, which means sending me to a psychiatric hospital, but I refused. I actually planned my own suicide twice, but thankfully I didn't, obviously I didn't carry that out. Adding to the mix anxiety and the ability not to able to cope with stress very well, you can understand how I was struggling. But life goes on, and my life did go on. But like I said, I found living hard, very hard at times. Unfortunately, I found alcohol. I don't feel that I abused it, but I used it to cope, definitely. I knew that it didn't help long term, but in the moment when I was struggling, I would drink. I did have good days, I even had good months, but like I said, I always felt that my depression was always there. Anyway, fast forward to probably 8 months ago. I was a lot older, can't really say that I was any wiser. Life was still, I felt, a struggle. I would regularly be sitting at home at night, crying my eyes out, not for any particular reason, just because I felt crap. I'd been thinking about suicide off and on for a few years. And again, I really didn't want to die. I just didn't want to go on feeling the way that I did. I've not really told anybody this, but I do think it's relevant. I kept thinking about a nearby wood where there was a tall tree, and the trunk was very straight, and the lowest branch was probably 30 foot high, and I used to imagine going there with a rope. I don't want to go on any further with that, but I assume you know what I was planning. Not that I was planning it, I was thinking about it. Anyway, at 47, I was still trading, probably eating better than I've ever eaten in my life. But I was feeling tired. I had this background tiredness. Everything seemed more of an effort than it used to. Didn't know if it was an age thing, but if it was, I didn't really want to give in to it. And I'd been told about a mineral supplement about 10 years ago and how good it was. But at the time I thought, what do I need minerals for? You know, I eat well, I get what I need out of food. But I thought I'd look into it again, and I did. And I started taking it. And within a couple of months, my tiredness started to disappear. And I did actually notice other benefits as well. But I would probably say around the 3-month period, I was starting to feel different regarding my mental state. I just started feeling different, better, normal. It was like my brain had been normalized or reprogrammed. The thoughts I used to have were not there anymore. It happened so gradually as well that I didn't even notice it until I actually thought back to how I used to feel. It's now about 8 months on, and I'm a different person. No depression, no anxiety, nothing. I'm happier, more content, more positive, and like I say, I really do genuinely feel like a different person. For the first time in over 25 years, I really feel that I'm depression free, and all in just a short few months. My family, my friends, you know, they're telling me that they can see a difference in me. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, what a load of bollocks. How can some minerals just make that much difference? These are not just minerals bought from the shop. They're actually prehistoric plant-based minerals. And I realise that you might be sceptical. It's human nature to be, and yes, it might sound too good to be true. I still cannot believe how I feel now to how I used to feel. It's just such a massive difference. And I think we're led to believe nowadays that unless something is made in a laboratory with people, by people in white coats, it's just not going to work. Well, it's not just me. A friend of mine also suffers from stress and depression and anxiety, and I persuaded her to try these minerals. 3 months later, I asked her how she was feeling, and she was a little quiet about things. She just kept saying that she felt okay, and I thought that she'd just not seen such a good response to it than I had. But I asked her again a week later, and I had to push her a bit, but she finally replied and said that she didn't want to say anything before because she was afraid that things might go back to how they used to be. And that basically means she'd actually noticed a huge difference herself, but just didn't want to tempt fate by talking about it. But we got talking, and she actually said to me that she thought to herself, is this how it feels to be normal? And that's very, very similar to how I felt. She said that she felt so much better, and that she felt now that she could do things in her life that she never thought possible before. She was no longer just coping with life. She was actually living it and enjoying it. And again, her family had noticed a difference. My dad, he's 75 years old now, and he's got Parkinson's disease. Now, Parkinson's is, if you don't know what Parkinson's disease is, it's a condition in which parts of your brain become progressively damaged over many years. A side effect of Parkinson's disease is actually depression. Now, he's been taking these minerals as well now for about 3 months, and he's definitely having more good days regarding his Parkinson's than he used to. He used to shuffle everywhere. He never used to walk properly. He used to walk with his head down, and like I say, he shuffled rather than walked. But now he's walking much, much better than he's done for years. He's got more energy, and he can do a lot more for a lot longer. And we've all, as a family, we've all noticed how much more happy and cheerful he is as well. I'm going to talk a little bit about the minerals now. They're from a UK-based company, and they're available obviously in the UK, Europe, America, and Australia. And due to the benefits I was seeing from taking these, I spent months of my own time researching the importance of minerals. We are designed as human beings to be consuming plant-based minerals, and that's a fact. However, there is a bit of a problem, and that problem is that for the last 80 years, there's been a decline in the minerals in our soil. Now, this is a global problem. The mineral content of the soil in Europe is down 72% of what it once was. In North America, it's down by 85%. South America is down by 76%. Asia is down by 76%. Africa is down by 74%, and so on and so on and so on. And this is, it's been confirmed by the World Health Organization, UNICEF, and the Royal Society of Chemistry. Now, we're told about minerals and how important they are to us to keep us healthy, but to my knowledge, no one talks about the importance of minerals, or at least not here in the UK. Minerals actually create the correct environment within the body for minerals to work. So minerals are really important for all of us, and without them, our health does suffer. Now, going to your local chemist and just buying some minerals off the internet, I suspect won't do that much for you. The reason being that most of the minerals available to buy are metallic minerals, which come from rocks and dirt. Now, we're not designed to eat rocks and dirt, so our bodies find it difficult to absorb these sorts of minerals. At best, we can absorb 20%. As I said, we are designed to get minerals directly from plants, of which we're going to absorb 100%. But due to the minerals not being in the soil anymore, they're not in the plants, or not in the plants in the quantity that we need. Plant-based minerals are far smaller in size than metallic minerals. Comparing the two is like comparing the size of a football to the size of a pinhead. The next thing is that most mineral supplements usually only contain around 10 to 15 different minerals. These plant-based minerals, the supplement, contain around 75 different minerals. As a nutritional therapist, I know what a good diet is, and my diet is plant-based, which means I eat a lot of vegetables, fruits and salads, and I've eaten like this for many years. And still I've had major problems with depression and anxiety and whatnot, up until I started taking these minerals. I would suggest to you, to look at your diet and to eat as healthy as you can do, and go out and get exercise. It is important. We know that. We only get given one body, so we should try to look after it. But, going back to what I said earlier, The great thing about this is it's simple. You don't have to think about anything. You don't have to try and motivate yourself to go anywhere or do anything. All you need to do is to get one of these tablets, pop it into some water and drink it. It's so easy. And that's the bottom line. You know, these minerals are what we all need, whether we have depression, anxiety, other illnesses, or no illnesses at all. Our bodies are designed to be consuming these on a daily basis. And these minerals are genuinely helping people. You know, 8 months on, I am still amazed just how taking a simple natural supplement has made such an effect on an illness that I've had for the last 25 years. A few months ago, the son of a friend of the family took his own life through depression. My first thought when I heard the news was, what if I'd found these minerals earlier? Could these have saved him? And I believe they could have. I don't think I will ever forget how I felt at that moment when I heard that news. But now what I want to do is I want to help as many people as possible by telling people what effect I've had from just taking these minerals at the end of the day. You know, I feel it's my responsibility. And I need to do this for every single person out there that's suffering. In a selfish way, I want to have that nice feeling of knowing that I'm helping people. But this is so much bigger than me. You know, what happens if this is something wonderful that cannot just change a few people's lives, but what if it can change a few hundred or a few thousand people's lives, or even more? You know, what if it can take the pain away that I know some of you have got at the moment? Some of you that are watching this, I know you're suffering because you wouldn't be watching the video otherwise. I just believe that this can do so much for so many people. You know, and it's not going to make you richer. It's not going to make you better looking. It's not going to make you taller, slimmer. It's not going to give you your dream house. It's not going to give you your dream job or your dream life. But what it might do, and I hope that it will do, is simply make you feel better. You know, life is short. We say it all the time. And I've spent too many long years feeling down, sad, helpless and afraid of simply living. And if you are suffering like I used to, you know, all I can say is just imagine feeling better. I just need to tell you a little bit about the company that sell the minerals. They don't actually make any health claims. They just market this as a supplement. Whether you try to decide this or not it's totally up to you. I'm just sharing with you how they've helped me and other people around me. And I want to share this information with as many people as possible. If you want my advice, I would just try them. I mean, what have you got to lose? Just try them for 3 months. We've got one life. You know, we know this saying, we've got one life, live it, and life's too short and whatever. But really, we owe it to ourselves to try to be as happy as possible. I mean, I wish I'd found these minerals years ago. I really do. Well, I did, but I didn't try them. But, you know, I'm so glad that I've found them now. Cost-wise, they're not cheap, I'll be honest with you. The cost in the UK is £23.95 plus $1.99 postage. In America and Australia, the price is $33.97 plus $2 postage. And I know it's not cheap. Apparently the process of extracting the minerals is expensive, but for me, they're worth every penny. And the way I look at it is, I look at it the same way as I look at food. I need to buy food to live and to be healthy. and I believe I need to buy this. You know, I'm not rich. I'm just an average guy. I need to watch me like other people. But again, you know, it's worth it. It really, really, really is worth it. I've placed a link at the bottom of the video if you want to place an order. The website is orderplantminerals.com, and that's orderplantminerals.com. And it's very, very simple. At the top, you've got an option of choosing your country. You just choose the country and then go to the shop. They do various different minerals. They're all the same, but they're in different forms. They do a powdered mineral. They do a powdered mineral veggie-cap, which is like a capsule, or they do a sizzling mineral, which is what most people tend to choose. They're flavoured, actually, the sizzling minerals, and they just dissolve in water. You just take them out and drop one into a glass full of water, and they fizz and they dissolve. They do come in, I think there's 4 flavours. It's cherry, orange, lemon and lime, and a natural one. I've tried them all and actually prefer the lemon and lime. And there's an option there to choose auto ship, which will automatically send another lot out for you each month. And I would advise you to go on auto ship. It does save you $5 per month, and to cancel, if you wanted to cancel, you can cancel anytime. It's easily done. If you want any more information about plant-based minerals, please email me. If you want to just contact me for any reason anyway, you can do, by all means. My email address is Matt Unwin. So that's MATTUNWIN 999 at gmail.com. And also, I would really love to hear from you. If you let me know how you're getting on with the minerals as well, I really, really would be interested. So please do drop me an email. Life's short. We know I've said it already. And if you are suffering like I once did, just imagine feeling better. Just try it. Just try it. This is my first video I've done, and I'm planning to put some more videos on as soon as I can do. So if you click subscribe, that way you'll be able to find any more videos that I'll put up if you're interested in watching them. So thanks for watching, and bye for now.